everyone, welcome to our pre-Comic-Con version of Sideshow Live. We are 5 minutes away from all kinds of pre-Comic-Con goodies, including a Q&A with someone special, a couple of special people, and a special guest first look at probably one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. It's pretty amazing. So we are about 5 minutes away. So come back. We have an unboxing. We have a first look at an art print that's behind me. And then we also have a spotlight on Red Sun Wonder Woman. So 5 minutes. We'll be back. welcome to Sideshow Live. Woo! Wow. We have a full room today because, well, it's about, 1 week, exactly 1 week before preview night. So we have a full house today with a special guest, two special guests who are going to be on the show, and one special guest who you might know from the internet. That's right. Sideshow Chickie is in the Facebook chats today, whoa, guys. What? So she's not in the, she so rarely makes an appearance, but she wanted to do no Facebook chat. Guys. So no sniveling in Facebook or else Chickie will call you out on it. Oh my gosh. We also have Peter in our YouTube chat channels as well, and Kitty, who is the voice of those two, who will be calling out questions as they come in. We have such a full show today. We are unboxing the Rocket Raccoon premium format figure from Guardians of the Galaxy. And because we are unboxing him, we are giving him away. So if you go to sideshow.com/live contest, you can enter for a chance to win the exact rocket that I unboxed for you on the show. Whew. Just remember, YouTube and Facebook also have live giveaways that are happening today. So you could be chosen in either one of those channels to win something live on the show. We are doing a feature on the Harley Quinn Daddy's Little Monster print by Olivia. That's right behind me. We have the Red Sun Wonder Woman premium format figure in the house that we are going to be doing a spotlight on. And our special guests are Tom Gilliland and Casey Love, and they are here to talk about Court of the Dead and introduce you to a brand new member of the Flesh faction who we are going to be debuting at Comic-Con. We already showed his preview online, but Odium, the Odium maquette, this thing is huge and gross, and so, he's like a warrior. I mean, he's supposed to be gross, like in that cool battle damaged, like flesh warrior way. So there you go. Once again, ask questions all throughout the show. We will be doing a Q&A at the end of the segment. So let's get going, guys. First off, we would like to congratulate our featured collector, Luis Enrique. He is our featured collector this week on our blog. So big Predator fan. Big Predator fan. You have an epic collection. Actually, if you like Predator, you'll probably be into a lot of the court pieces. They have those like warrior scars and monster looking things. Yeah, exactly like this, just like this. And oh, I am? Good. Oh, nice. Cool. So if you would like to be a featured collector, go to sideshow.com/blog and hit apply now. We'd love to show you on our live stream and feature you in our blog. So the news is all about us this week because we have been doing online Comic-Con since July 1st, and we have sneak peeks and product reveals and previews and pre-orders and just all kinds of good stuff that to show you online before it gets shown to the good folks down at San Diego Comic-Con. So we have a new Harley premium format figure. We kind of teased her on the show, and then we pre-ordered her. So she is up on our website right now. She is from Suicide Squad, and she looks fantastic. We showed you a Captain Phasma premium format. We showed you a Stormtrooper premium format, a Red Sonja premium format, an Alien Warrior statue, a Swamp Thing maquette, the K2SO premium format, a Suicide Squad Joker premium format to go with your Harley premium format, and the Zyle Legendary Scale bust. Whew, and a partridge in a pear tree. So, that's just kind of a slice of everything that we've been showing you because one, we're only at the 12th, so we have until the 24th to keep going with all of this. So you're about halfway through all the things that we're going to be revealing. We also, why is Sheev not on here? We showed a Sheev preview, and Sheev is like the arbiter of bone, and I personally think Sheev is really cool because he has like the horns are rad. Anyway, we'll talk more about him during the court segment. So next week is actual Comic-Con. It's not a goat head. It's a she. Oh, it's a she. Aw, she. Aw, okay. I like that. Sheev is a she. Okay, cool. Well, we'll talk more about her a little bit later. So next week is actual Comic-Con, which means we will be actually in San Diego. A bunch of us here are headed down to set up the booth, display at the booth, and just be there to talk to you guys. So to Sideshow Live at the booth. We are doing no less than 2 live shows every single day of Comic-Con. So some days we will have 4, well, it's 2 on Facebook a day, 2 on Instagram a day. possibly popping in and out of Periscope when we can. So that's a lot of live from the booth. So you guys, we really want you to feel like, because we know how hard it is to get tickets nowadays. We know that there's just like a slice of you that get to actually attend the show. So we want you to feel like you're there at home. So Kitty and I are going down. Kitty will have the camera. I have a mic and facts about the things that we're showing. And so we'll be hosting no less than 2 on each channel per day. So 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and a lot peppered in between to get your reactions so you can ask all the questions you want. Bank questions if you're like, oh, I forgot to ask that last time. Get back on the live show later and we can try to answer it then. So to find out more about when we're going live and to basically find out every possible detail you can about us in San Diego, go to sideshow.com/SDCC17. That's SDCC17. And then you can figure all of that out. I, right now, am wearing a little sneak peek of some things that you can pick up if you're at the show. There are a couple of little scavenger hunts and giveaways. There's 3 actually. I don't have the court one that we'll talk about later. But there's a Wonder Woman pin and a little Sideshow pin that you can get if you're at the show. And if you are a Wonder Woman fan, we're actually going to give away a couple of these on preview night. So that way you at home can still win the exclusives that we will have at the show. Now that I've gotten through all of that, that was just the opening, guys. We are going to show you a little out-of-the-box video featuring Groot, and then we're going to be taking his buddy Rocket out of the box. So you're watching Sideshow Live. We will be right back. Everyone, we are back. Actually, during the commercial break, I got a really awesome person to bring me in the court pin, so we can talk about that a little bit later. I would also like to give a shout out to the Simpsons lover on YouTube for giving us the best comment ever that made us all laugh in here, which was and it's just a bunch of letters. So that was what? Oh, there's a couple of numbers. So 3, 7. Anyway, so shout out to the Simpsons lover watching in YouTube. Anyway, this is Rocket Raccoon. We're going to unbox him right now. He has some really, really neat box art, front and back. It's a better picture on the back. It's the same, but like this is a nice cleaner shot of the box art. And you guys know I'm a fan of box art, so I like to show it off. Someone wants to use Baby Groot as a toothpick. That's mean. I don't like you. Not cool, bro. Wait, do you have to enter the giveaway? Yes, you do have to enter the giveaway. You have to go to sideshow.com/live-contest and enter for a chance to win. No, I got it. I don't need floating hands. Floating hands was rejected. Rejected floating hands. Well, this is the bottom, so I'm going to very carefully flip it over. Sideshow goes on the top. Remember that? Sideshow goes on the top. Something fell out of the box. Oh, nothing fell out of the box. That's my script. Anyway, you do not get scripts in the box. That doesn't come in there. So we're just going to open him up. I know. You don't need that. That's just packing material. So this is his little base. Something that I really, really enjoy about all of the Guardians pieces is their bases. Move over this way.
There we go. Yep.
Okay. Is all of their bases, because all of their bases kind of go together. Like if you see Angela and Gamora and Groot and Rocket, all of their bases go together, which is really, really neat. Boom. He has no hands yet, but I feel like you guys took pity on me after the few that I couldn't put together, and so you gave me something really nice and easy. No capes. No capes. Oh, I spoke too soon. Which way does the tail go in, guys? Ah, there we go. Haha. And here's the little, I think these are Nova crystals that are on all their bases. Boom. You can display with or without the crystals if you want, but like, if they're supposed to be on Nova, why would you display them without the crystals? In my opinion, anyway.
Someone's asking if Yondu is going to be a premium format.
I hope so. I mean, like, whenever, he's Mary Poppins, y'all. Whenever that question gets asked, our standard answer is there's hundreds of projects. When Dave Igo was on last week, he said that there were like 220 projects that he was working on, like at that moment. So the answer is maybe, because you know the odds are in your favor if we're talking 220 projects at a time. So this is Rocket. He's all put together. Wait, that can't be right. The tail cannot be right. There's no way that's right. Just because I don't know why it would be facing downward. Is he sad?
Look at the box.
Oh yeah, look at the box. Oh, it is facing downward. Okay. Well,
First time. He's very angry.
he is very angry, and he has 2 guns, so I wouldn't really mess with him. Angry trash panda. There you go. I still feel like the tail's wrong, but this is Rocket. So here you go. Here's some facts about him. He is comic book inspired, so he's not meant to look like Rocket in the Guardians movies. He's meant to look like Rocket as seen in the comics. He is a perfect companion piece to our Groot figure, but also I would say that he's a companion piece to all of the Guardians figures because they all go together in one complete collection. We did comic book versions of Gamora, of Angela, of Rocket, of Groot, and they all just look so good together. Can we get out the official Sideshow tape measure to measure Rocket? Of course we can. So Rocket, from the bottom of his base to the top of his gun, he's about 1 foot tall. So you can see that there. And then he is supposed to be, well, it says here that he's 10 inches tall, but, oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He's 10 inches tall. He's,
A little over 10. That's
yeah.
about right.
And then there's the width.
About 5
5.
3/4.
Yeah.
The width is supposed to be 6.
Yeah, about 6.
That's what it says on my paper. And then the depth, because Igo decided that he wants us to call it depth, not length, is about 4.5 inches. So, there you go. He is a limited edition of only 1,000 pieces, and you can get him in a special bundle offer if you also buy Groot. So you can get Rocket and Groot together, and then it's $50 off. So if you would like to get him, he is shipping now. So go to sideshow.com/rocket, and you can purchase this adorable premium format figure. He's so cute. But don't tell him that, because he'll probably shoot you or rig something to make you explode in like 5 minutes. Or something like that. So this one right here, you can always enter for a chance to win at sideshow.com/live contest. We will actually be announcing that winner not next week, because next week will be Comic-Con. The contest will close next week, but we won't be announcing the winner until the following Sideshow Live when we were back in our makeshift studio. So there you go. Any more questions about him?
He's so cute.
He is cute. Do Rocket and Groot ship together? No, they don't ship together. I feel.
Someone was asking if his assembly is magnetic.
Yes, he has a couple of different magnetic parts. The arms both have magnets in them. The crystals have magnets. His foot has magnets. I don't think the tail does, because if it does, then I'm putting the tail on wrong still.
I think the tail's supposed to come off, like, to his right side.
Yeah, but
Is that...
doesn't go in that way at all. So it has to either be this way or it's completely upside down. Anyway, we're now.
Wants to have you do turn around.
Oh, well, the tail's, I'm worried about the tail. Here we go. Turn around. Turn around. Yeah, it doesn't look, anyway, whatever. If you guys figure it out, you can tell me how to do it correctly later. You all like to tell me how to do things correctly because I put things on wrong all the time. But you know what? This is how you know that it's live, and this is how you know that I've never actually unboxed him before and I don't sit here and practice, because otherwise that, like, I want to have the same experience that you guys have when you're unboxing your premium formats for the first time. So Gabriel Munoz wants to know my favorite Guardian of the Galaxy character. Drax. I love Drax so much. I love him so much. So that's the answer to that. Who's everybody else's favorite character? I know that, because I know you like Groot.
I do.
Yeah, Kitty's a Groot fan. I know that for a fact. Yeah, and then Trash Panda. It flicks up. Well, there you go. It flicks up. Yep, it flicks up. There you go. See, I knew it couldn't be incorrectly because it was like, it was kind of half out. See, that? There you go.
Someone in the comments is asking, can I pet your puppy?
Can I pet Yes. Typical Drax answer, yes. Next time I get to NYCC, I'm bringing you guys a rotating display base. Thank you. We would appreciate that. Can you make sure it doesn't go, because we have rotating display bases here, but they like make this noise, so we can't really have them on camera because they make so much noise.
Is that for Rocket or for you?
For me? Oh, well, for me, I have a chair that rotates. So they don't need to, no. Anyway. Yeah, that would be awkward. Rocket has tight pants on. Yes, he does. Good. Great observation. We have a video to show you guys, and don't forget to enter for your chance to win. Sideshow.com/live contest, and when we come back, we'll be showcasing the Daddy's Little Monster premium art print. You're watching Sideshow Live. What? So this is gorgeous. Wow. So I've seen this on a computer screen. I haven't actually seen it in person yet. And as vibrant as it looks when you're going to the product page to pre-order this, because you can already, at sideshow.com/lilmonster. Sideshow.com/lilmonster. As pretty as it looks on the computer screen, it looks so much better in person. These colors really, really pop. Once again, this is the Harley Quinn Daddy's Little Monster premium art print by Olivia. I'm going to turn it a little bit more this way because I feel like it's askew. Wow, it's obviously based on Harley Quinn as seen in Suicide Squad with a very real portrait of Margot Robbie. I feel like her eyes are staring into my soul. It's kind of like her eyes specifically like look alive. Olivia does such a great job of capturing these like moments in a character, and what she has here is I feel like you can see Harley's mischievous nature just coming through her eyes on this portrait. So this is a limited edition of only 400 pieces. Pre-orders began on Monday, July 10th. And that was for the framed edition. And actually right now you can get the unframed edition. It went on pre-order around 9 a.m. this morning, Pacific time. Oh, it says Wednesday, July 12th. That's today.
I think it goes up tomorrow.
Okay, well, my notes are incorrect. The script might be wrong. So it's tomorrow between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Pacific time, which means if you want it unframed, you still have a little bit of time to figure that one out. But if you want it framed, you should probably do it right now.
Yeah.
So to find out more, go to sideshow.com/lolmonster. These are all hand signed by Olivia. And again, it is limited to just 400 pieces. So we have another video showing you Cleopsis out of the box. And when we come back, it'll be our main event. The court team talking about Odium. You're watching Sideshow Live. Hello, we are back. YouTube might be having technical difficulties. We apologize, but on Facebook, hello, we have Tom Gilligan.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
Flashback
I've said
to
your
junior
name-
high there.
I've said your name a million times, and I finally flubbed it. Dang,
Cool.
and it had to be on the show live.
Pink slip when we're done.
I know.
All right. Take two.
Take two. This is Tom Gilliland and Casey Love, and Tom is obviously our creative director. He is the mastermind behind Court of the Dead, and Casey has been on the show before, and he has talked
Welcome
about.
back, Casey.
Hi, Casey.
Thank you.
We wanted to have Casey back to talk about this dude right here, Odium. Odium is the champion of the faction of flesh. So what does that mean?
So, let's see. So, Odium is really kind of let's see, what am I looking for? He's
Like a gladiator?
yeah. Well, it's like a revenant flesh golem gladiator, sort of stitched together by, obviously gigantic spare parts, an unbridled rage, and a little long forgotten secret ingredient. And so he was created by
Related to
Queen
tunnels?
Gethsemane.
No, not yet.
Well,
Not yet.
I'll give you the kicker at the end. So Queen Gethsemane of the Flesh faction, at a moment of bad judgment in her ongoing rivalry with Zyle of the faction of Bone, looking for an edge, created him. She twisted some of her purpose, bent the rules a little bit, and certainly and most notably broke a sacred promise. Right?
Oh.
So now that Odium has escaped into the outer wallows outside into the underworld, both Gethsemane and Odium know that it'll only be a few morrows before he comes back to reconcile that broken promise.
Oh no.
So-
But that sounds awesome.
He's
Oh my
kind of a
gosh.
monstrous force in the court pantheon. A little bit of
Is
a
that real hair?
discontent guy.
That's real hair. that your
No,
hair?
that is fake fur.
Fake fur. It's not human hair.
No.
It's not human
It's
hair.
the kind of weird stuff that just, finds its way into the underworld.
Okay, I was just gonna say, like,
Give it
I
up
would
and
not
then-
even be surprised if Gethsemane was like, and snip, and there.
Well,
There you go.
not much you're gonna say if she does.
So the court has an incredibly unique visual color palette. So it's dark, but somehow there are bits of color that pop. So what are some of the techniques that you use in design, and then you use bringing the design to life in order to make those bits of color really come to life and expressive on the piece?
Well, we're curating a pretty big collection here as we get, all the different characters that sort of filled the pockets in this pantheon of the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're always looking for ways to kind of create some differentiation. So obviously here, and especially with some of the flesh characters, we get a lot richer palette. There's a bigger color sort of representation to the way they look. So in Odium's case, and since he's kind of a, rage-fueled monstrosity, the sense that, we want to get a little bit of that kind of blood coming to the surface or whatnot in an otherwise old, dead, kind of rotted form was one of the principal drivers. That and the fact that, he was made, to everyone else's knowledge but the Queen, with a humble beginning, but she knows better. And so all of his accoutrements and whatnot are pretty much from the scrap pile, which is sort of concealing his true intentions. So
Yeah, and then how would you bring that? Because that's conceptual. So then how do you make that, like, the Queen's, all of her intentions? How do you put that onto the piece when you're painting it?
It's just really,
It's
really
magic.
more about Tom's intentions.
That's
I
not
think,
true.
Oh, yeah.
you know, I think it's just a matter of. I have a long history of painting white monsters. If anyone's followed my work, and Tom kind of knew that, so it was like when this thing came up, it was like, yeah, let's have you do what you do normally, you know, and just I love putting color into everything I do. So when it came to this white palette for me, that's like, yeah, just go full crazy.
So, you know, it's fun too, is Casey and I have been painting lateral and whatnot for many, many years, both in the effects world and through what we're doing here at Sideshow. So it's a lot of fun when, you know, you have sort of a shared vision, but you kind of, you know, hand the mic off to, you know, someone else, let them do their magic tricks. And, you know, I'm a huge fan of what Casey does. And so this was one of the characters when we were sort of parting him down that was like a must for him to handle. I certainly had my hands deep in paint for the last week and a half. Some other things.
We caught you.
So,
We caught you.
yeah, I got the giant
You know,
logo, and
you
there's
have the
a couple
giant
other
logo.
creeps that we got that are coming to the show as well. So.
Amazing.
Nathan wants to know how long it takes to make something like that.
Wow. Well, to make it from start to finish, it's probably about a 6-7 month process. And, you know, I mean, bear in mind, we're not working on it 24/7. So, but I think there's the aspect of designing it, letting that sort of sink in, clarifying that, moving to sculpture. Sculpture's maybe a 2-month gag. You're going into mold and cast, labbing for about a month or two. Paint's about, you know,
3 or 4 weeks.
yeah, 3 or 4 weeks. And, you know, then you're kind of finessing, fine-tuning the teams. Right now, everything's, you know, all that extrapolated time is happening in 2 weeks
Oh my gosh.
as we get, you know, an anxiety attack on our way to the show. So, self-induced one, but...
So David Dennis on YouTube wants to know, how does Odium calm down? Like if he's so rage filled, like is there anything that calms him down? Like is it Coco and kittens, or is it more like fishing and meditation, or does he just not care?
I think it's, you know, it's solitude. I think that's the, you know, thing that maybe I'm channeling on my own here. But but I think when you're in the din and noise of it all, you know,
He's just like-
that's what fuels them. So in these sort of quasi arenas that they have in the underworld where they're sort of testing themselves, I think that sort of, you know, lights the electricity up, on top of the fact that he knows he's been gypped. So, but once out in the wallows and the solitude and serenity that the underworld can present itself with, that tends to calm the savage beast long enough for him to rationalize a plan to bring the pain.
We have a lot of people in Facebook chat that are bowled over by the size, and they are comparing it to the size of Bane behind you, and shocked that he's much larger than Bane.
He's bigger than
So
Bane.
they wanted to see if you can do the measurements with measurement tape so they can physically see. And then also, while she's doing that, if you can talk about, some people are international collectors of the court, and their wallet just broke thinking about how much it's going to cost to ship. So they want to know, is it completely solid? Is some parts going to be a little bit more like?
Oh yeah, cool.
27 inches tall, so he's over 2 feet tall.
I think we meant to make him the biggest, but, you know, in the sense of things, you know, he's a huge juggernaut. So sometimes you got to kind of pull scale around a little bit. But I think, you know, you can see it's
Best I can
half
tell.
the size of Susan.
Yeah, best I
So-
can tell, he's 18 inches
And
deep.
in terms of these big pieces now, we've got some great techniques where we're still using polystone and whatnot for all the detail elements. But on a piece this big, we can use fiberglass, which is super durable and also light enough for shipping to not be exorbitant, but not so light that you feel like you're just, you know, juggling a beach ball. So I think you get a nice happy medium between both strength, you know, a little bit of cost relief on shipping, but also something that, you know, you can move around without putting on a weight belt. Although I think Odium would probably ask you to do 50 push-ups before you even attempted to lift him up.
Someone wants to know how old or ancient Odium is as a character, because he has gray hair, so they notice that he's...
Well,
Does
I think
that have
that's
anything to
not
do with-
really an age thing so much as it's just sort of a condition of the underworld. Color and whatnot sometimes is pretty transient, so it, you know, bleeds out or whatnot. Odium's a bit of a conundrum in that question. So
'Cause
he,
it is-
in this form, he's very new. But that
Okay.
secret
But he was
ingredient is
pieced
something
together.
that comes from something way back to the origin of the court itself. And actually, that will actually be something we're working on and be told. And we're doing different novellas right now that'll be starting in 2018 and beyond in our ongoing publishing efforts. And Odium is the centerpiece in a book called The War of Flesh and Bone.
Wow.
So that's where all of his secrets will be revealed.
So then Nick on YouTube also wants to know, is the court story pieced together bit by bit, or is this one big story that you're just...
Well,
that's the
it's
whole
a little bit of both. It's a big story, front to back, have that all worked out. It's a bit of a monstrosity, but it's been sort of designed to be broken down into pieces. So there's kind of two sections.
Okay.
There's the Underworld Rising part, gives us a chance to kind of get to know the court fixtures and the characters and kind of what their what their trials and tribulations are, so that we have some sympathy. And then the Rise, Conquer, Rule trilogy is where sort of Shard's part of the story takes forward, and the mortal world and the underworld realize that their fates are entwined in defeating the Celestials.
Okay.
Talk about publishing, mention the journals and
Oh, yeah.
We got
So
books.
we have a journal, and by the way, someone in the chat can win this journal right now. What? So yeah, we're just gonna pull a random person who's a fan of the court and wants the journal. So be sure to be talking to us in the chat about this. So someone wants to know how much he weighs. Well, this is a prototype, so we can't move him to something to weigh him right now to show you, but maybe you guys
it's a tough guess, because the base will be solid, the figure will be somewhat hollow, all the extensions will be solid resin mass. So I'm guessing that you're probably, wow, I don't know the last time I actually weighed a collectible, other than like, is this hard to lift off the desk or not? I think you will notice the weight when you go to move it, but I don't think you need like a team of movers to help you do so.
Okay.
That base is going to be solid. It's going to be.
I'm just thinking,
nice
because like
foundation.
the Batman up there is like what, like 14
Which one are you looking
pounds? Because of the
sure.
gargoyle. So he's probably going to be what, like 20?
I'll probably say, you know what, since the body will be a little hollow, probably be about that heavy, maybe a touch heavier.
Like 20?
So I would say probably 15,
Something.
18 pounds maybe.
Okay, that sounds good. Cool.
Let's talk about his mask.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Talk
So,
about his mask.
Let's talk about his mask.
His mask. That's sitting there.
Yeah, you can hold that up
Oh.
carefully. So this is sort of the, as he's in these sort of proving grounds where Gethsemane and Zio are sort of testing their, creations for the coming war with the Celestials. They pretty much brand them in their faction colors or, details. So he's wearing a Flesh Faction mask that's been crafted for this purpose.
Ooh.
A little bit of a touch of a sort of ancient Roman centurion kind of helmet.
Can Odium wear his mask?
When the piece is finished, it'll have a magnetic connection, so it'll click into place. So a lot of the court pieces we're doing, there's a lot of masks. So we're trying to work on either solutions where you have a switch-out head that it's already keyed into, or where we can get it magnetically attached. The hitch there is, anytime you've got something that's kind of making a soft contact with surface, you always worry that, is it going to leave a scuff mark or something? So we don't want people's, collections getting sabotaged, so we're always on the lookout for how we can do that best. So I think when we did Kier, we did two heads collapses. I think it ended up that way too. So we're really looking for the way that delivers it best to you. So
Dana Stoll says it is reminiscent of the Queen's headdress a little bit, like with
touch. I mean, he is a pretty special child of Gethsemane. So.
Oh, that's exciting. And also, Dana, if you have been chosen as the winner of the journal, by the way.
Yeah,
so
Dana.
yay, Dana. That's awesome. So congratulations, Dana. You're going to want to email social@sideshow.com, write Court of the Dead Journal in the subject line, and your shipping information in the body of the email. So thank you so much. Pierce also wants to know if you guys have any plans for any Netflix shows, animated or otherwise. He would like a Netflix Court of the Dead show.
I would like that too. I am a big Netflix fan. Love what they're doing there. I think the court journey is one that I'm in for the long haul, as is the whole team and the company. This is our sort of premier flagship IP property, and it's a big long story. So this is 20 years of D&D and heavy metal come to my dream come true, I guess. So certainly we're going to stretch it as far as we can. There's a lot of stuff going on in 18 that starts propelling the story, novellas, more books. There's the comic omnibus that will be available at Comic-Con. Not to get ahead of probably your script.
No, it's fine. We can actually touch on Comic-Con right now. What's happening at Comic-Con?
Wow, what hasn't been happening for Comic-Con? So let's see. There's at least 10 new exhibits. So year one,
10.
I had 12 on display. That was all new. This year there's 10, in addition to what is already in the collection that is currently available. So there's some neat surprises in there. A couple of new formats that I think people will like, especially in being clear that some of these pieces are huge. So we did some that are a little smaller and a little easier on the wallet, but no softer on detail or presence. We've also got the publishing leg going. So we've got the Comics Omnibus, which takes a lot of the comic content that we had on the web, puts it into a nice bound edition with some extra content, a lot of designer notes. The journal and sketchbooks.
The sketchbooks you've seen on the show previously.
Oh, cool. Yeah, which is, I think, the Comics Omnibus just showed up 2 days ago. It looks really slick. Really proud of that. Plus, it's cool to see it in print. And I think we got a cherry of a price to get folks to add that to their collection. There's the novellas that kick off into next year and more comic content. We tried looking at doing these things sequential, but I think for our business model and the way we're going about this, doing these things in kind of more, trying to think of the vernacular, trade paperback or whatnot, where it's all, you get the story, one belted edition, is the way we're going to go. So we're working on something now that kind of details the dreads grip condition that all the mourners in the underworld have to sort of face off. It's kind of their darker nature that's trying to constantly subvert them to the destruction that's their nature, while they try to reach for a nobler purpose. So that'll be a great story that sort of sets up the other end of the consequences. The Celestials are their overmasters, and the Dreads Grip is their sort of threat from within. And then novellas, the first one off is on the origin of Demethyle, the Reaper General, how he came to be the sort of fixture of the morale of the underworld and sort of their by proxy leader, and where they place their hope.
Wow.
If that's something you can look at and assign hope to. So.
Wow. Now, people are getting also excited about Mortigal, it seems in the chats, that there's a new Mortigal.
Let's settle this Mortigal question. So here's the thing. When you're building out a big monster property or whatnot, and you've got all these stories bouncing through your head, sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. So, and that was kind of the case with Mortigal. So that's his sort of mid-story appearance.
Okay.
So I had kind of thought that I could hold it back, maybe play the game a little differently, but public opinion and the and I want to play to the crowd. I want to win Rome here.
Yeah.
So I think it's been seen. So he's come back. We've done a little bit of adjustments. The way he was holding his sword before wasn't really to my satisfaction, so we just recomposed that a bit. But otherwise, that'll be back on display, and that will actually be entering the official queue for release.
Yeah.
So I think
that preview went up this morning.
Yeah.
For the new.
So a lot of folks have been very patient. We appreciate that. Love the fact that people love Mortigal. The fact that he's sort of the prodigal, offshoot of Demethyle and a bit of a thorn in his side, in trying to stay on the bone mantra of sort of keeping your head together. Maybe a little bit of a kind of a rogue element in the bone, assortment.
Did you paint him?
Well, I was just gonna say it kind of allowed us to punch up the paint a little too.
Yeah, I like his like the side of that one part of his like face that is just dark.
So there's a damaged portion that is part of that, that mid story point thing. So I think Chicky was asking that he was originally a captain in the Mortis Knights, which is the sort of knighthood that kind of orchestrates the harvest. But as the title would imply, eventually there's a little shift in the guard. So we'll see. That is also stuff that'll be explored in the novellas.
Crazy. So Zach wants to know if there's a Court of the Dead theme song.
Yeah, it's. Are we allowed to cite references right now? I don't know.
We can say inspired by.
Inspired by my endless listenings to Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. Has always been the imagery that's in the back of my head, even though that's not exactly where the lyrics go, but that's kind of what I hear. So.
Awesome.
So we have a couple questions in the Facebook chat about. Well, someone says that a Court of the Dead chess set would be really cool, but are there any games being...
So speaking of that, we have a kind of partnership with Project Raygun. They have a lot of announcements at Comic-Con, including there's going to be a Court of the Dead Underworld blackjack table where you can sit and play blackjack. I think you can even play blackjack against Gethsemane herself at one point.
That may very well come to pass.
Yes. So if you're at San Diego this year and you stop by Project Raygun's booth, they, which, by the way, we talked about my little pin. This is the third pin, is the court pin. Here, let me take it off so you're not like zooming in.
I got a picture of it.
Oh, let's put up the picture of it. That's probably better.
It's our guy Relic Ravlatch.
Yeah. If you do a scavenger hunt at San Diego Comic-Con this year, you can complete the Underworld Quest, and the Underworld Quest takes you to Han Cholo, Inside Editions, Badali Jewelry, and Project Raygun. If you collect all of the stamps from each of those booths, so there should be 4 stamps, you will get this exclusive San Diego Comic-Con 2017 pin featuring Relic Ravlatch, or Bobby, as we've always called. I'm sorry.
You guys killed me.
I'm sorry. Point. Right here.
There you go.
So go to sideshow.com/quest to learn more in our blog. Will there be any human characters that oppose the court?
Oppose the court? What do you mean by human?
What
You use the
do
word
you-
mortal
What,
more than human.
oh, mortal. So Nick, see,
it's
we
really
use
just a
we use
condition.
we use mortal instead of human. So like what? That's spirit born. Or soul born?
Well, you're soul born if you had a mortal life. You're spirit born if you came to be in the spirit realm of either the underworld or the celestial realms.
See, there you go.
So it really depends on how you were
Soul-born.
created.
Okay, well then that answers your question, Nick. There's like 3 more questions you have to ask. so be more specific.
But to answer that, I mean, Shard is the sort of mortal representation, and then some. So that sort of question and that wrestling match between the living and the dead, and how they're more tied together than they imagine, is really where the whole Rise, Conquer, Rule trilogy will sort of explore.
Wow.
We have a Facebook participant is excited about the journals, and they're hoping that that means that the Court of the Dead will have more scholars and more adventurers in the line.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's tough about the actual statue or PF lines is that you kind of got to go for the more gonzo characters.
Yeah.
So there's most certainly scribes, Weaverton, and every other element that sort of backs up all of the folks that go out and do the rough and tumble stuff.
It's true. We do even have like the Malavestros piece has a scroll.
Yep.
I mean, he's the
He's
jester,
telling the
and
story
he's
of the whole
telling
piece.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And his base is so based in like candles and like he clearly is in some sort of library. At least that's what I always thought. Like he's telling the story. He's writing everything down.
Well, I think, to the answer to that, I think, statuary is kind of the final frontier for all that stuff. We were mentioning our friends at Project Raygun and gaming, and that is where I really want to express this world building Court of the Dead prerogative in a big way. I think there's a great opportunity for people to get invested in it. You sort of choose your faction, step into the game, play from that point of view. We've got 2 titles working with Project Raygun right now that are aimed for 18 and 19. They're sort of board miniature game hybrids. Love the hell out of miniature games, play them incessantly. So it was always a big part for me to make Court a gaming experience in one medium or another or all.
Awesome.
But tabletop stuff is really something that goes back to my D&D, kind of roots, whatnot. So role-playing is something I'd love to look into. That's still something we're kind of fishing for at the moment. But Project Raygun's projects will focus on a sort of big picture, macro, underworld political intrigue kind of point, and then dial down to kind of a street level sort of fight situation. So it'd be kind of the 2 bookends of the experience. So I want you to kind of get a sense of what's at stake on the big picture, and then what happens when the street brawls break out, or the small pitch battles on the edge of the underworld with celestial invaders takes place.
Kind of pulling it back into this Odium maquette right here. Where would Odium fall into this line of like, is he like battling on the front line, or does he have his own agenda, or is he fighting a couple of different battles?
He's definitely fighting a couple different battles. You got the, most of the court characters have got a sort of overt big picture battle and a demon that they're sort of wrestling with inside.
I feel like that's why the court has taken off so well, is because all these characters are so rich. Like they have a very personal reason for doing everything that they're doing, but they also have a sense of a bigger picture of where they fall into place. but that doesn't change the fact that this is their emotional journey as well.
And I appreciate that. I think that was part of the thing. I've always been attracted to anti-hero type characters.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we're talking about superheroes, it's not totally my jam, but when we get to Batman, Punisher, that's kind of where I check in pretty significantly. So this is my answer to that kind of, theme.
Nick actually clarified he meant living enemies, like maybe a church who opposes them.
I think the notion is that, the moral world views the darkness and the underworld as a reflexive thing to fear. And I think that that's the con that the Celestials have pulled on the mortals, is fear those who could possibly be their only chance at salvation. So that sort of flip the script kind of anti-hero ethic there is kind of pretty clear,
Awesome.
I think.
Eric wants to know what your faction is, Tom, and what yours is, Casey. Have you taken the I'm assuming.
So I represent the Underworld United.
Yeah, I was like, I think that Tom is the all taker.
I'm not the all taker.
But
I recognize the need for unity.
Yes. He has a little bit of all the factions.
Well,
I'd
technically
say.
we all do. I think it's that point where which is the prevailing part, and how can you best use your lesser aspects to influence your greater?
That's true.
So.
We had a question from Facebook of, would you guys consider releasing animated YouTube segments if you're not on Netflix?
Yeah, you know what? Definitely. And in fact, when we did that trailer last year, which I'm pretty proud of, especially since we put it together in the better part of 3 weeks, I love that kind of stuff. I love those little animatics that get done. I even like oftentimes sort of great cinematic tricks in that they employ to make a story seem bigger when they don't have the budget to do so. I think there's a lot of charm in that or whatnot, and I've seen so many of them from a lot of great properties over the last few years, and so we have our eyes set on that. Our multimedia team is always kicking butt for us. These things do take some planning, but that is something we're aiming at. So to say that we are aggressively, even if it's sometimes slightly glacial in our progress in getting these things put together, we are, there isn't a day that goes by that we're not, pushing one of these story projects forward. So I think 2018 is when we're really going to be able to start, laying these bets out.
Amazing. Casey, what was your faction? We cut you off. Oh.
I kind of like, there's something I like in each one of them, It's hard to pick one, honestly, not to be, run away from the question, but the truth is, everything I'm seeing with each one of them, there's something cool and awesome about every one of them. So it's hard to pick. Really.
I think internally, it's either the court team members know specifically and violently, or they're
well, when we asked Anna on the show, Anna was like bone, and then she just was like bone.
She is solidly in that camp.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No,
Sheev's one of my favorites, so
yeah,
But then you got to know that I love anything.
Yeah.
So
I love Sheev. I thought Sheev. When I said him, I meant more of like an us, because I didn't know she had a she on her yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
awesome.
In the underworld, you have a lot of choice in how you want to be portrayed.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can evolve in those directions, and so whether you had a mortal life or not, you get kind of that. You take all your experiences, churn them up again, mix it up, and maybe redefine yourself, which is kind of what one of the all-takers' kind of selling points is. Here, you make your choices.
That's amazing. Cool. Well, on that note, I think that we're good.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Well, look forward to, what is it?
Next week.
8-10 days, whatever.
No,
we will have
next
the
week.
coolest display we've ever had for this. Giant crypt architecture.
If you
Queen
guys,
Gethsemane, Wonder One Death, you name it.
If you follow Court of the Dead across their social channels, which Court of the Dead does have its own social channels separate from Sideshow, so if you follow at Court of the Dead on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, they're doing some really amazing teases over there. We're trying to keep up with you guys, sharing them across our social channels, but if you want to get like a sneak peek at some of the stuff, like we got Anna peeking out of a window of something that you guys don't know what it is yet, but we do. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks Casey, thanks
you're
Tom,
welcome.
thanks
for having us.
Odium. We have another video for you. When we come back, we have Wonder Woman Red Sun. You're watching Sideshow Live.
Hi, Susan.
Hey, what's going on? We are back. By the way, Jesse in YouTube wanted to know how tall Odium would be if he was, you know, compared to the other Court of the Dead characters. Tom answered that question. He would be about 9 feet tall. So that's how big Odium is in like the real world. So yeah.
Contract that guy would get in the NBA.
I know. Well, he could basically just be like, just give him the ball.
Yeah.
Boop.
There you go.
Yeah. Plus, I think he'd probably be as big as like at least half of a basketball court.
Right.
You saw him. He almost cut me in the face with his axe and his claw.
He's too angry for basketball.
He is
Yeah,
too
he is.
angry for basketball. He'd be like,
Yeah,
"Rah!"
football player.
He could be a hockey player.
Yeah.
Or if he was a football player. Anyway. Hi, so Wonder Woman. We're all still on the court right now. That's what happens when we get started talking about the court, is that we never know when to stop. Anyway, this is the Wonder Woman Red Sun premium format figure. If you guys are following online Comic-Con, you'll know she's our deal of the day. What? So... deal of the day. So if you go to sideshow.com/redsunww, you will, I think that she's double rewards today? Double rewards. That's 2 times the RP for you guys. Move to the other side. We don't have the turntable anymore. This is what Peter's asking us, because I guess people want us to turn Wonder Woman around. We don't have the turntable anymore. He was with Odium specifically. So apologies for that. Anyway, we have Red Sun Wonder Woman here. She was done by an incredible design team. She is based on the Elseworld miniseries by Mark Millar, or Miller, as he's known in Scotland. So she is about, where's my, got it.
The official Sideshow.
Official Sideshow tape measure. She is 24 inches. It says 22 here, but they might be taking it from Wonder Woman, the top of Wonder Woman's head. She's actually 24 if you measure from the base to the top of the flag. Her depth is about... Oh, ooh, she has a little lip up there. She's about 12 inches deep and about 10 inches wide. So that is how much she is going to take up on your shelf. She was designed by Chris Anka, Miles Williams, Zane Yarrow, sculpted by Steve Schumacher, Tim Miller, Joe Jung, Earl Ellis, Alfred Paredes, painted by Kat Sapine, and Amy Carpenter did her costume fabrication. So you can see that she does have
A skirt.
a skirt.
And we have someone asking if the flag is cloth as well.
The flag is cloth as well, and it's actually, there's wire in the flag so you can pose it.
She's standing on Batman's cowl.
She is standing on Batman's cowl. I'm sorry. Apparently you people in YouTube are very particular and you want to see what she looks like without the cords. So I'm going to be moving her very carefully to the other side of me, so we can appease the fans in YouTube. There we go. What? She's very heavy. She's heavier than I expected. So, there you go. Anyway, She is a limited edition of 1,250 pieces, but there is low stock remaining. So that means if we get a low stock flag, that means there's like usually less than 20 in stock. So if you are down to the wire and you're like, oh, I don't know, you should do this now, especially today, because if you do it today, you'll get double rewards points on her. So not only will you be able to take home the Wonder Woman Red Sun that you've been wanting so much in your collection, you can also have double rewards points because she'll ship right away since she's available now. So you get the rewards points right away. So then you can buy something else. What? That's such like think about that, because this is the stuff that I think about. I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to pull the trigger, and then I'm like, oh, but double rewards, and she's in stock, which means I'll get the rewards points right away, which means, oh my God, that pre-order, because everything is pre-ordering during online Comic-Con. What about that pre-order? Oh my God, I can put my RP towards this pre-order? That's amazing. So this is like, no, that's, it is. That's exactly what happens in the brain of every collector. Come on. And by the way, Kitty, don't even make fun of me because I know you do the same thing. Kitty's like putting together like, oh, but if this happens, then I'm going to need to get this. And if this is that. So, well, rewards points is 30 days after shipping, but if it ships now, then you get your rewards points in 30 days.
When all those things go for pre-order.
Yeah, things are going out for pre-order. Like, come on. Let's not rain on this parade, guys. Like, this is a really good thought process we have going on. So anyway, she is our deal of the day. And if you get her today, she ships, then you will have new rewards points in 30 days and it'll be double. So that's really, really cool. So that's what we have on Wonder Woman. When we come back, we have our Q&A. We'll be announcing winners. We'll be giving away things live. So this is really one of the most amazing parts of the show. And you're watching Sideshow Live. We will be right back. Hey guys.
Hey Susan.
What's up?
Hi.
Well, first off, I hope you guys have been asking questions because we have a Q&A segment. Apparently, no one in Facebook has been asking questions, which is strange because you guys know that Chickie's in Facebook, right? Right? So, that seems like a missed opportunity for all of you right there.
The original wild card.
Yeah, right? So, yeah. Seriously. But first, while you guys think up questions to ask, we have a winner of the First Order Stormtrooper set that we gave away last week. And that is Seth Libby from the US. So woohoo! Woo! So that's pretty awesome. Seth, you won that First Order Stormtrooper set that we gave away last week. So that's pretty awesome. So right now we're going to be giving away in the Facebook chat, since YouTube got the court journal. The Facebook chat is going to get a purple coated Joker to give away.
Purple?
Like, oh, from the Suicide Squad. Like because they did a couple of different versions of that Joker. He was in the tux and stuff. This one is the one with the purple coat. So purple coated Joker. Nick wants to know who is the most geeky, like out of the characters. In the office.
Oh, it is you. It's you. Yeah.
It's me?
It's Susan. Yeah.
I don't think that's
Did
true.
they just watch the Wonder Woman Red Sun thought process?
They want another giveaway on YouTube. Well, we'll get you another giveaway on YouTube. Just right now, you need to be patient, YouTube. YouTube's getting demanding. So apparently I'm the most geeky in the office, though I really don't think that's true at all. But there you go. Any Bane production picks coming soon? Yes.
Sure.
They most pieces that are Sideshow pieces, so Bane, like the premium format figures and 6-scale figures, they get a production update right before they ship, because once the shipping sample comes into the office, we take new pictures of it and then update the photo galleries online. So the blog gets a photo update, the production page gets a photo update, and so that is when we send out that email being like new photos for Bane, that's when you're going to want to check out our website, the product page, the blog. That's where we put all of our Facebook or the out of the box video. That's when we do the out of the box video, so you'll know exactly what you're getting if you pre-ordered Bane, and exactly what he'll look like when he shows up at your house. So that's pretty cool. Statue Junkie wants to know, any chance one of the hundreds of projects is a Shazam statue? I only ask because he's my favorite character. I hope so. I love Shazam. I really do. They want to see Magneto and Wolverine photos. Cool. You'll see them next week.
Make sure you're at.
Either
check us out
check us out in San Diego.
Someone asked that if you go to a movie with Drax, because he's your favorite Guardian, which movie would you watch with Drax?
Oh my god. I would watch like the Terminator franchise with Drax, because I feel like he takes everything literally. So I don't know. I that would be amazing.
Mary Poppins.
Oh, but would you watch Mary Poppins with
Any Guardian.
Any Guardian? Any Guardian? That's amazing. You guys, first off, I'm not the one who said I was the most geeky, so I'm not answering geek-proof questions on on the show, because that's rude. Because if someone says I'm a football player, do you have to say prove it? I mean, actually, you probably should.
How heavy is Rocket? He's about this heavy.
He's about this heavy. Once again, we don't have a scale in the room. I don't know. I don't lift weights. I'm like.
Is he heavier or lighter than
Are you a
Sideshow
football player?
life-size?
Yeah. Am I a football player? No. He's heavier than the life-size cup. He's lighter than Odium. He's lighter than my 3-year-old niece. He's heavier than the Sideshow S. He's heavier than the pin. So there you go.
And congratulations to Steve Miller, who got his Sideshow t-shirt.
Woo! Steve Miller. Since it is your first win and first Sideshow piece, you don't know the drill. So the drill is
For his birthday.
oh, for his birthday.
His girlfriend bought it for him.
Oh. So Oakley's not the winner then?
Well,
He didn't.
He is a winner because his girlfriend bought
Well,
it.
yeah, his girlfriend is amazing and bought him a piece for his 20th birthday. 30th birthday. Wow. Did you have a nerdy 30 party? I had a nerdy 30 party.
I think you just proved our point.
Oh, no, I had a nerdy 30 party, and I made all of my friends dress up as their favorite character. Like, everybody had to cosplay at my birthday when I turned 30. I just aged myself, guys.
Nerdiest person in the room.
No, I don't know any of these questions that they're asking right there. Like, I don't know any of those answers, because who cares the age of someone when they became a specific character? I don't know any of those answers, so I'm not as nerdy as anybody in YouTube.
Congratulations, YouTube.
Congratulations, YouTube. You know more than me.
Good job.
Good job. I hope you're happy with your life
I
choices.
think it might be.
You don't get a giveaway now, YouTube.
Yeah. The Brit in the room says you guys no longer get a giveaway.
I think we should give Steve another surprise Sideshow item.
Ooh, Steve Miller, you get a surprise Sideshow item.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve. You just need to send, woo! So then who won the purple coated Joker? Not Steve? Someone else?
Yep.
Someone else? Okay, someone else won the purple coated Joker, but Steve Miller, you need to email social@sideshow and put in your shipping information and tell me your surprise stuff.
Whoa.
Kier Bailey? Your name's really Kier?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! What? That's amazing!
He wants the purple coated Joker.
You won the purple coated Joker.
So she needs to.
So she needs to. Sorry, I got distracted by YouTube being the way that they are. Kier Bailey, you need to email social@sideshow.com and put in purple coated Joker as your subject line. And Kier also gets a set of Miss Monster prints because your name is Kier. So just write Purple Coated Joker in the subject line, and in the body of the email, write where you want your Miss Monster prints and Purple Coated Joker shipped. What? That's amazing. Anyway.
Isn't it great when Chicky's in the chat?
Yeah, Chicky's great in the chat. Do you guys like my life-size coffee cup? I'm pretty excited about that.
Facebook wants to know if you've gotten to see the Swamp Thing maquette that we announced today.
I have seen.
Wait, what? Hey,
What?
it's not YouTube. It's
Peter.
Peter.
So Peter's being a jerk to me?
That's what it is.
But then how come then Peter, why are you pulling YouTube usernames and putting that they're asking these questions? Cuz that seems like you're faking us out. What? Yeah, Peter Chicky's going to give Peter an attitude. Actually, I kind of want to see that. Can that actually happen? I've been watching a lot of Glow lately, so I really do want to see like all these like showdowns. So anyway, I don't believe in anybody having to prove anything about how nerdy they are because everybody comes into Star Wars he called out Chicky. Peter called out Chicky. But oh no. But like I was saying, I don't think that anyone should have to prove anything because if you're like, there are all kinds of levels of fandoms. Like you can just read the Harry Potter books and be a huge Harry Potter fan without seeing any of the movies. So I don't think it's fair to ask people movie trivia or vice versa book trivia if you were. And same goes with Star Wars. Like there are people who know exactly the difference between all of the Stormtrooper armors across every single one of the movies. And then there are people that just really enjoy going to a galaxy far, far away. So there are levels of fandom, and it's not cool to question anybody's nerddom, in my opinion. Anyway, so we are going to give away another set of Miss Monster prints in YouTube because YouTube was like super, super active during like the whole Tom
and Casey.
interview. I could not think of the word interview. I kept thinking of query because we have a Brit who's in here. The Brit always says query.
He's never even said that before.
You say it all the time. I share an office with him. He says it all the time. Winner is X Caleb Plays X.
All right.
All right. I assume your name is Caleb. So congratulations, Caleb. Please email social@sideshow.com with the subject line Miss Monster Prints. Apparently, now I have to be forgiving of all the people who can't claim a prize correctly because I keep forgetting how to do it myself. But I've never had to claim a Sideshow prize, so I don't know.
We totally glossed over Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah, we totally saw Swamp Thing. We saw him today, this morning. He looks so good. He looks so good. He looks like a perfect combination of like the New 52 Swamp Thing that like Scott Snyder wrote and like the old school Alan Moore Swamp Thing. Like he looks so good. And then like classic Swamp Thing. He's just like we are going to be doing these things on social media during the week of Comic-Con that are called product spotlights, and we are definitely doing one on Swamp Thing because oh my god, it looks so good.
Yes, we told you not to touch it. Don't touch it.
Yeah, don't touch it. And I have this, as you can see, I get very, very excited about about things. So when I saw Swamp Thing, I ran up to him, and then they were like, "Susan, stop!" And I was like, "Oh right, okay." So to wrap up the show, if you guys have any last-minute questions, Caleb, you need to email social@sideshow.com. Any chance for a New 52 Animal Man? Freaking, that would be rad to go with that Swamp Thing. Then we would have to do like the Rot environment. Yeah, the Rot. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember that? Anyway, so Caleb, you need to go to social@sideshow.com. Miss Monster Prints, email social@sideshow.com. Miss Monster Prints, and then where do you want your thing shipped? Where do you want your print shipped? That goes for anybody who is claiming a prize. Social@sideshow.com. Prize in the subject line. Where you want it shipped goes in the body of the email. So there you go. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. When someone says, do they want to go to Homecoming, does that mean the Spider-Man movie? Because yeah. Anyway, I'm just wondering. So, everything that's happening for San Diego Comic-Con next week, we have the court scavenger hunt. So that's across Court Social. Yes, Kitty?
Yes, if they want all the information on the different ways to interact with
Sideshow.com/quest.
Yeah.
Right there. So that's the court side. On the Sideshow side, well, we obviously we cover all of the court stuff because that's the stuff that, you know, we love doing those scavenger hunts as well. And P.S. whoever gave this to me is not getting it back because I want a Relic Ravlech pin as well.
Oh, Sideshow
What? Haha, Sideshow Alex. But I'm doing product spotlights on very specific characters. So if you guys see something that you would like a product spotlight on, be sure to let me know on social, because that's like, I'm doing it on the Magneto PF and the Swamp Thing maquette and like pieces like that you know, I think you guys are going to be really excited about. A couple of the brand new court pieces that, including, you know, Sheev, because I know that you guys have been waiting for Sheev for a really long time. She was actually part of a concept that now is like an actual statue, because she was just like something that they did as kind of like a, what are they called? Like
Art study?
Art study. That's what they're called. So there you go. Beyond that, we have 2 live streams every day on each of the channels. So if you're, well, I don't know about YouTube because I can't get it to work on mobile yet, but if I can, then we will. So we have 2 Instagrams, which, by the way, we have an after party.
After party.
After party. So we have 2
I hope there's ice cream.
2 Instagram lives, 2 Facebook lives, a couple on Periscope. Basically, anytime we see anything cool happen, we're going to try to stream it live for you guys, or at least get a picture or at least get a video of it. And then we'll just be posting. We have at least 3 giveaways on each channel every day. So not even just live on the show floor. We're talking about, like, we want you guys to, we understand how hard it is to get tickets to Comic-Con and to attend Comic-Con nowadays, because now even if you get tickets, but there's the whole hotel lottery that happens. It's very difficult to attend the show, but we want to make you feel like you're there even if you can't be. So what? That is amazing. So much cool stuff is happening at Comic-Con. So be sure to follow along on our online Comic-Con. Even the blog is getting giveaways every day. So that's really exciting. Plus, you know, you get to see all of us down there hanging out, checking out the booth. You get to see what the court's up to with their huge display, and that's amazing. So we had such a great show. We had so many winners. We had Steve Miller, who won a mystery prize. We had Kier, who won a purple-coated Joker. We had and because she's Kier, she got some Miss Monster prints. We had Caleb, who got Miss Monster prints as well. We had Seth Libby, who got a First Order Trooper. Someone's going to win Racket. Sideshow.com/live contest. I feel like you have something to say to me.
Yes, Tom wanted to make sure that we did a shout out to Martin Canale and the Gore Group for the sculpt on Podium.
Shout out to Martin Canale and the Gore Group for doing the sculpt on Odium. Wow, that piece is amazing. Like, just the flesh things, and there's nails coming out of his back. And by the way, I don't know if the camera could get, there's actually inscription on the nails in his back. Like, that's how detailed that piece is. It's crazy. So, wow. So those are all the winners. We showed you Daddy's Little Monster, the art print by Olivia. Tomorrow she goes up for unframed pre-order. If you want her framed, then she can be, guys, okay, I get it. They need me to wrap up. So it's really awesome to watch like 5 people do this to you off camera. Anyway, so there you go. So then we had Tom Gilliland and Casey Love talking about Court of the Dead. We had Wonder Woman Red Sun premium format figure. You can have double rewards if you enter, or not if you enter, if you buy her today. And again, we all saw the thought process happen. So there you go. If you get her today, that means like in a month, a little over a month, you can get something else really, really cool. Then we did live giveaways, which we mentioned the winners, and go to sideshow.com/SDCC17 because that's where you're going to get everything, all the information on everything we're doing on online Comic-Con. It's amazing. I'm out of breath, and it's time to go to the after party. So thank you guys. No, it's not time to go to the after party.
Maybe.
It's not time to go to the after party. I lied. Sometimes you lie on camera. So let's watch one more video, and then the after party.
I don't know.
Because that's
yeah.
after.
After the after party, go.
I think communication and connection really is at the heart of what it means to be human. I found creativity a much more natural form of communication, and that's what drew me to writing. Literature spoke to me in a way that nothing else had ever done before. I knew that all I wanted to do was write, and I took whatever jobs I could to support that. I wasn't very social, I didn't have a lot of friends. It was all about, I need to be good at it, I need to get better at it. For me, I didn't think about the journey of writing at all. It was all about the destination. All I wanted to be was the best. I didn't consider that the journey to get there is your whole life. And life was passing me by, consequently. I wanted to be a writer. Everything in me wanted to be a writer, but I never loved writing. I only realized that when I had something to compare it to. When I had the opportunity to start sculpting, I enjoyed it. There's no question that I knew very, very quickly that this was what I was meant to do. It was the most important thing in my life to be a good writer. And so it was a gradual letting go of this thing that had been such a huge part of my life and embracing this new love that I had. I enjoyed learning, I enjoyed growing, and it made it easy to grow because I enjoyed the process and enjoyed doing it. It wasn't until I was far down that road of sculpting that I realized this is filling places in my life that writing never did. Those first few years of sculpting were some of the most exciting times. I was very happy doing what I was doing. I was a traditional sculptor, but my dad is an old engineer, and he always told me to look at digital sculpting. It seemed like the more that he talked about it, the more resistant that I got. I spent so many years doing other things until I finally found what I was good at and what spoke to me. The idea of going back to the bottom of the ladder, starting all over, was just not acceptable to me. I mean, that's part of what was so threatening about it. My dad had been nagging me for 5 years. I gave up. I threw my hands in the air and I said, "You win, I'll try it." I knew that I would use any reason and any excuse to get out of it unless I committed myself completely. So I spent my life savings on a computer and the software and everything, and I knew that there was no going back. I mean, I was all in at that point. I took off 2 weeks of work and I said, I'm just going to learn this, I'm going to see what I can do. I did, and by the end of those 2 weeks, I had another moment where my eyes just opened up and I said, my God, I'm better in 2 weeks at this than I have been in 10 years of sculpting. And that's when I realized my life has changed. It turns me on so much for someone to connect with that piece. You know, they're walking by and they see it and they go, oh wow, oh man, that's really cool. Like, it touches them someplace. And I created these elaborate stories in this very long period of my life just trying to get to that. And I found out that through sculpting, you can do that like that. Where I am, I was so meant to be, and I can't imagine, as circuitous as it was to get here, I don't know that there was any straighter path than the winding one I took. What I was looking for the whole time was something that made me happy. I spent 15 years trying to be a writer, and what I was looking for was what I found when I became a sculptor. My name is Will Harbottle. I'm a failed author, and I'm thankful for that every single day.
hello and welcome to How to Be a Poser. They all wanted me to do it, so I did it. Hi. Sometimes you wait a long time for something, and this is your reward. Your reward is Scott Sudduth won a Batman 6-scale imposter version. Woohoo!
All right.
How did he win it, Susan?
By RSVPing to our Facebook events.
Woo!
What? And did he write RSVP?
No, he actually pressed going.
Because that's all you need to do is press attending or going.
But
you
some
don't.
of us still like it when you do it.
Some of us still like it when, yeah, okay. Some of us still like it. But you don't actually have to write like RSVP. You just need to hit going.
Do it.
Anyway, thank you, Scott. Now we're heading over to the after party, so thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week live from booth 1929 at San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Woo!